Well, hello, um, out there in YouTube land. This is Andy, your lonely libertarian citizen of Simi Valley, California. And I'm going to talk today about, well, two things. The first thing is this is a response to Daniel at Vision Victory. He asked for someone to finish what he was thinking. Well, I'm going to kind of do that in this video. I'm going to talk about unemployment insurance, and I don't know what to call this video. I might call it Welcome to France. And I'm also going to talk about economics in one lesson. So, anyways, unemployment insurance. Now, here in California, under the emergency orders, if you are newly unemployed, and you could get up to 99 weeks of unemployment insurance. Well, if you do the rough math, 99 weeks is almost, well, at 2 weeks a year of vacation had you been working. Well, you can do the math. It's about 24 or 25 years worth of vacation time. Amazing. We're paying people to go on vacation. No, actually, we're not paying them per se. People paid into unemployment insurance. Part of their paycheck was deducted for that, and also companies paid for it. However, it is a government-run program, and that's where I have issue. I think we ought to get rid of the government being in that program. Why? Here's why. Because we get politicians out of unemployment. We will get politicians out of unemployment by having a privatized unemployment program. Plus, we will create incentives for employers to reward their employees for higher production by, through the savings on unemployment insurance. So per se, say for instance, now all businesses aren't created equal, but let's say you're in a certain business and the trending is over a certain period of time. The history is that they have a turnover ratio of this much, and during economic ascension and economic regression, I think that's a better term actually, ascension and regression, but because they brought this recession, but I think regression is better. But anyways, you have certain historical stats, and insurance companies will use those historical stats when they analyze, in order to figure out a good balance between payment and investment of the money they receive from premiums and how much they could possibly be paying out, their risk. So if you were to have private industry running unemployment insurance, well, the more risky companies would pay more, the less risky companies would pay less, and it would basically make managers think about that cost, and also think about how they can become more productive to hope that they wouldn't need the insurance. And you would see rebates from insurance companies for being more productive, for not taking on the risk. Now we see this with Allstate. Allstate right now, with regard to car insurance, says, hey, if you're a good driver and you don't get into an accident during the coverage period, we're going to rebate you a little bit of money in the form of a check. Well, you could see that with unemployment insurance. So I think that we need to move unemployment insurance out of the government and make it a private industry. Now, a lot of people are going to have problems with that, but I feel that you must have somebody on the other side balancing the risk. When you have the taxpayer balancing the risk, well, here's what you get. You get extensions on unemployment insurance beyond what the original contract was. The original contract was 26 weeks. Well, now companies can lay off people for longer periods, and they can plan, and believe me, they are planning on how to use that unemployment insurance. Manufacturers are planning it, and importers and exporters base things on the fact that there's no risk involved in having to lay off employees per se. So taxpayer ends up footing the bill. So really, it's not really an insurance program, it's a government welfare program. Hence, welcome to France. Everybody gets 25 years worth of vacation time here in California for going on unemployment. And you wonder why we are fast becoming an unproductive society. And what this does, when you have unemployment insurance, for instance, look at myself. I run a business here in California. I sink or swim based on the economy, just like people that are unemployed. However, there's nothing for me, and I take all the risk. Yes, government wants to tax me more for all these various costs that are building up in the economy due to government taking the risk. Well, they voiced that upon me, the person still paying taxes. So I end up saying, well, why do I want to be so productive? Why do I want to be successful when taxes are only going to rise? That means more of my time will be spent giving it away to somebody else. It's the old standard argument of, high tax, low tax progressivism. If you have a low tax, flat tax, well, then everybody gets a fair deal and they know what the rules are. But when the rules are constantly changing, you never know what the rules are going to be next year. Well, then you start to wonder how fair it is for you. Now, I can tell you here in California, with a 10.55% income tax, top rate income tax, and then you add in federal tax and everything, well, you figure about for every dollar you make, 50 cents goes out the door to somebody else. But if I lose a dollar, all of it I lose. I don't get to get it from somebody else. I don't have to go to government and say, well, I lost a dollar, government, give me my 50 cents back. Or give me 50 cents of your money, because I'm losing now. So there are a lot of problems with unemployment insurance that people don't look at. So, there's a Senator John Kyle out there. He made an interesting statement about unemployment insurance that everybody immediately jumped on that he's a Grinch, that he wants to hurt people and take their money away. That he doesn't want to give help people out that are down and out. Well, that's not the case. He's just making the case that I'm making. Welcome to France. So, back to economics in one lesson. This book by Henry Hazlitt was produced in 1946. This one was last published, I think, in 1978. But it talks a lot about government priming the pump and all the problems that occur. Everything that you do in economics has a cause and effect, no matter what you do. Now, imagine if we didn't have unemployment insurance, but companies, had to justify their layoffs. Well, don't you think they'd be more responsible to their workers? Don't you think that they would manage their hiring and firing a lot better? How many times have you seen companies or worked in companies where people were just brought on board to bring the numbers up, but they were totally unproductive? These type of programs create imbalances. They create risk. They create malinvestment and risk in investment. Well, that's what this book talks about. And I urge everyone to get a copy of it and give it a good read. Doesn't take long, maybe a few days you could read it. Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt.